The ballot for the November election in Colorado is set.
Well, it includes a socialist, a confessed killer, and a former anti-meat activist in the state's biggest beef-producing district. Your political specialist, Sean Boyd, is here now with a look at how we got here and where Colorado may be headed.
What an election, right? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to believe that Colorado was once a swing state. When President Trump took office in 2016, MAGA Republicans took control of the state GOP, and Democrats took control of state government. It was a turning point in Colorado politics. The 2026 primary may be another one of those watershed moments. The biggest winner of Colorado's primary election is not Democratic Socialists or MAGA Republicans. It's Donald Trump, who has redefined the parties, dominated debates, and driven many voters to the far left and far right.
I think the overarching takeaway is that the establishment got kicked in the teeth.
Meanwhile, Democratic analyst Mike Dino says political newcomers like socialist Malat Quiros got a shot in the arm.
People look at her, a young woman with a lot of energy, who wants to be in the political world, who wants to be in Congress, wants to be in Washington. And I don't think they're listening to what she's saying.
It's breathtaking to me.
Republican analyst Dick Wadham says voters apparently weren't listening to Victor Marx either. The Republican nominee for governor has said he killed someone, performed exorcisms, and was the first American in Gaza after Hamas' attack on Israel.
This entire election will probably be fought over how weird is Victor Marx. We haven't learned everything about him. There's more to come on him, I'm sure. The question is not if he hurts Republicans. The question is going to be how badly he hurts Republicans.
Wadham says Democrats will tie every GOP candidate in Colorado to Marx and Trump.
It's a bad 1-2 punch against Republicans,
which could give Democrats a supermajority in the state House and cost Republicans control of the U.S. House. Congressman Gabe Evans' re-election will be key. He faces Manny Rutinel, who has railed against ranchers and fracking before running in what is perhaps the top oil and beef producing district in the state. Dino says it doesn't matter.
I think you could put any Democrat up in that race, and they're going to win, maybe not by a big margin, depending on where they come on the ideological spectrum, but they're going to win.
Why?
Because Trump. And because the Republicans here found the goofiest guy they could to be their nominee for governor.
If Marx hurts Republicans, Quiros, who is not only socialist but anti-Israel, could hurt Democrats.
Democrats need to have their feet held to the fire. Do you agree with her or not on that? And so far, they haven't done it.
But Wadham and Dino agree Trump will continue to have the biggest impact in Colorado. In addition to Gabe Evans, they say Congressman Jeff Crank will have a tough race. Trump won his district in El Paso by 20 points in 2016, but just 9 points in 2024. Wadham says State Senator Barb Kirkmeyer's loss to Marx should be a warning to establishment Republicans. He says she was the most formidable candidate the GOP has fielded in 20 years. And yet, big Republican donors didn't help her. They, as much as Trump, are responsible for her loss, really.
Yeah, so surprising. Most of Colorado's electorate we know is unaffiliated. You would think that they would make a difference in all of this? What's going on here?
You know, the thing with unaffiliated is they've left their parties not because they're too extreme, some of them, but because they aren't extreme enough for some of them. And also, while many unaffiliated don't like one-party rule, they dislike Donald Trump even more.
All right. Wow. Okay, we'll see what happens.